The Zorki 4 was introduced in 1956, manufactured by KMZ in Russia. At the time, it was essentially the bastard orgy child of the Nikon S2, like M3, and a few other cameras that succumbed to camera aids, with the Z4 outlasting all of them, with a notable 1 million plus units sold. The 4K was introduced in 1973, with the only difference being a wine lever versus a knob. Its shutter goes from 1/1000th of a second to bulb, and the lens mount is RF M39. With many other Soviet-era rangefinders, the shutter speed selector spins when the shutter is released, so you should cock the shutter first before making the shutter selection. Otherwise, you can break the camera and end up wanting to end your life in the process, like what I almost did. So before we start, I'd just like to say that this camera actually does feel kind of nice in the hands. I mean, I've got skinny-ass hands, but at the same time, I don't know, it feels nice. So walking you through the top part of the camera, first you've got your shutter selector, which spins, and then you've got your film advanced, which spins the shutter on the top, like I've said. Alright, yeah, okay. And now you've got your actual shutter button. And then here you can lock it, which also, I think, locks the shutter wind. And then you've got your cold shoe mount, your film rewind. Again, like a lot of other rangefinders from that time. What's next? Oh, yep, you got your lens, and it does just screw right off. And this is the Jupiter 8 model, by the way. Stops down to f16, I think, and then goes all the way back up to f2. Set that aside. It's the front of the camera. I'll fiddle with that a little bit more. I don't know why. And you are able to actually set up to 36 exposures on the top of that. And then off to the left, you can kind of see your flash, PC flash port. Right there where I just stuck my thumb. Yep, right there. And then on the bottom, you obviously got your diddly-doos to take off the bottom part to put your film in. And then that is also your tripod mount. It's a little different because it's a Russian one, but you can find adapters relatively easy. So pulling it off, you've got all your standard stuff inside the camera, your your film advanced and your rewind on the left and right. And everything's in pretty decent working order. And then you pull the spool right off and you just thread it. Just like a regular, kind of like a Leica. And then we're just down to the bare minimum body. And then you've got your self-timer. For about 10 seconds, just hit that button and it starts. Also, it's got a cloth curtain shutter. Pretty loud, and it's not internal inside of the lens, so that can be a bad thing if you're doing long exposures on a tripod. To load the bastard, you just stick the lead of the film onto the spool, and keep in mind that there is a little catch near the bottom of it, and then you just load it in like a regular camera. And then just rotate it a couple of times, and then you're pretty much ready to go, man. Good to go. Anyway, boys, we're at that part of the show again where it's not about the technical specifications of the camera or what you guys think, but most importantly, it's about what I think about the Zorki 4. And what do I think overall? Well, when these cameras work, they're very nice, but overall, when they break, they suck. I mean, they were built en masse, like I've said. So, and they were built, fairly decent for the most part, but, considering a lot of the rivers in Russia are vodka, it's hard to say. I got mine at an antique shop for about $25, and I've had it for nearly 2 years now, and it just gave out on me a couple months ago. The shutter's capped, and I don't know what is exactly what anymore. I mean, you try to play with it right now. I already got the shutter cocked. Yeah, it's not even spinning around all the way. Yeah, I don't know what that would have been. Maybe like 1/8 of a second. But, When they do work, they're great. They're definitely a big alternative to the M3, I think, and the Nikon S2, and other cameras that are just more expensive, you know. And if you're good at making heads of tails of mechanical rangefinders, then this is something that I would suggest you get. Now, of course, there's different variants like the Zorki 4K, and there's really no difference in the major long run other than the thumb knob, but I just go ahead and pick up whatever's cheapest on eBay. Now, as for the lens, this is the Jupiter 8. You might be familiar with it. The filter thread on this one has been sodomized to oblivion, so I can't stick any filters on it unless I held it up in front of the camera. But it stops down the f2, gets a nice bokeh. I'll put some sample shots in near the end. I think some of them really show what the bokeh can be like on this. But you have about a meter close focusing distance to infinity. And overall, it's a great lens. A lot of them will come with it, and I've been wanting one of these for a while now, so when I got it with the Zorki, I was psyched. But anyway, guys, that has been my review on the Zorki 4K. If you want to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram handle is maesthetics, and there's the website link in there if you want to go check out my website. So anyway, guys, this has been the Zorki 4, and as for the next video, I don't know what I might do. I've got a few ideas, and I've got definitely more to come because I haven't made an upload in over a year. So if you guys want to stick around, you can. Hit subscribe, and sorry if I've been rubbing my nose. I'm sick as a dog. So, yeah. Go check me out, guys. TTYLLOL Radical Hoot Holler at your boy. Bye.